Hello. So today we're looking at 1990 mechanics problem 2. Okay. So it says a block of mass m slides up the incline as shown with an initial velocity v naught and the position shown. If the incline is frictionless, determine the maximum height h to which the block will rise in terms of the given quantities and appropriate constants. So we know we have this initial velocity, and we know we're trying to figure out how high it's going to go. So the real question here is what method, right? What way, what tool in your toolbox, your physics toolbox, are you going to use to actually solve this question? Okay. If you're doing forces, that would be tricky because you're going to have to use F net to find an acceleration, and then use kinematics to use that acceleration to find out how high it's going, right? To find out where that velocity is 0, then you have to find a distance, right? So that sounds pretty tricky. Momentum doesn't really apply here since we only have one moving object. So forces, kinematics, that is possible, but it'd be a really tricky way to do it, right? There isn't anything rotating, so that doesn't apply here. So the kind of only thing left is energy. Now, hopefully you remember that the way to set up energy is just EI equals EF. Okay? And so we're asking ourselves, what type of energy do we have at the beginning, at this very beginning spot as the block is going up? Well, that's just kinetic energy. So I just got KE, right? And at the end, all of that K is going to turn into potential energy, right? It's not still moving, it's not still going up, so it's all got to turn into PE. So now I just need to plug in my variables, so I have 1/2. The mass they give me is m, and the velocity is v naught, so v naught squared equals, and then the formula for PE is just mgh, right? And this h here is capital H. You can see they define that height it goes up to as h, capital H. And so I can go ahead and see that the m's cancel out. I'm solving for h, so I just need to divide by g. So I have v naught squared divided by 2g equals h. Okay, so that one was pretty easy, pretty straightforward. So now let's go ahead and look at, next we'll be looking at part B.